Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, it's Josh, and here we have Game 6 between Dimaga, the Ukrainian Red Zerg, up here in the top right of Steps of War, and KiWiKaKi, the blue Protoss, down here in the bottom left. And I say Game 6, this is a best of 7. KiWiKaKi currently leads the series 3 games to 2. Dimaga won his games via some good Nidus play and a 6 pool. And KiWiKaKi won his games based off of good defense, good counters on Delta Quadrant, and a cannon contain / good defense and counters on Desert Oasis. That one had it all in KiWiKaKi's favor. He had that cannon contain there at the beginning and built the right units to counter those roaches of Dimaga. The mass stalkers did quite well there. And Dimaga's 6 pool last game, very surprising. He's obviously not 6 pooling this time around, since he does have, I believe, 10 drones already on the field. 9 drones, there's number 10 popping out of that egg. But, so yeah, going to be seeing something different. No 6 pool this time around out of Mr. Dimaga. And I can't believe that he did that, knowing that if he lost with that 6 pool on cross positions on Metalopolis, very gutsy move, he would be out of the series. The best of 7 would be over. KiWiKaKi would get the $200. And this show match is sponsored by GoSuGuide.com. Not sure if I said that already yet this game, but In Control Machine and LZ Gamer want to help you get better at StarCraft 2, so go check out GoSuGuide.com. They're very nice gentlemen, paying $200 to the winner of this series, and also they did Huck versus Morrow, the winner of IEM Global Challenge versus the winner of MLG Raleigh, so that was a fun series to watch as well. I have not seen these games yet. I know the results of the series, but I don't know who wins what, and Dimaga is fighting for his series life right now, and that $200. He needs to win this game, or he'll be out some dough. And I think in the Ukraine, $200 probably pretty valuable. So he'll definitely be trying to win, not doing anything super cheesy like that 6 pool again. I don't know what that was about, but 2 gates coming for KiWiKaKi pretty quickly. Looks like he might be going for some zealot aggression early in this game on Steps of War. He did not do something that I've seen him do before, which is try to wall off this area with gateways and forge so that he could get this natural protected. And Dimaga actually did not take this natural either. He did do gas before pool, or rather gas at the same time as the pool, so that he could get this Zergling speed up very quickly. Dimaga seems to be a big fan of building like 8 lings and then deciding what he wants to do after that. So these lings are going to get a probe kill very quickly. The zealot did not have enough time to chop down that ling. Here are 6 lings going to try and surround and kill off this zealot. I think he will be able to do it if KiWiKaKi is... Yeah, he does kill that zealot off with no problems. Only loses 2 lings in the process. So, more lings coming out all the time for Dimaga. The next step for him usually is a Roach Warren or even an Evo Chamber for +1 weapons, but haven't seen him do the +1 weapon build in a while, so he must be moving away from that recently. So lots and lots of lings still being built. That Overlord is checking out the front of KiWiKaKi. He saw all those zealots just a second ago and sees those 2 gates. There should be a Cybernetics core down somewhere by this point. Yep, there it is. And that 1 gas. So he's just modifying the very normal Protoss build to include 1 more gateway very early, so he can do some fun stuff with the zealots. And actually, we saw this play out of Dimaga and KiWiKaKi on Delta Quadrant. This is almost a repeat of Delta Quadrant, where Dimaga is actually taking a rather fast expansion, and KiWiKaKi basically sent a buttload of zealots, and Dimaga was able to kill them off with +1 armor Zerglings. And here, losing those 2 zealots that quickly is going to be massive, because it means that they're not going to be able to run away from these remaining speedlings. So Dimaga doing a good job killing all these zealots. Zealots do so well against lings, but when they get a full surround like that and the zealots can't do anything, it's just it's nasty, because now KiWiKaKi only has a zealot and a stalker able to defend his ramp against a ton of lings. However, the lings take so long with this very little surface area to actually kill these gateways that Dimaga actually can't do anything about it right now. So this hatchery is coming up just fine. His lair is also coming up just fine, so we'll see what he chooses to transition to. Obviously, banelings and roaches are not on today's menu, so maybe Hydralisks, maybe Mutalisks, or maybe even he'll gun it to Ultralisks like we saw on Delta Quadrant. all kinds of Lisk options there. But Forge finally coming in for KiWiKaKi instead of a tech structure. That is a little surprising to me, but cannons do quite well against speedlings, so not too surprising, I guess. But this will allow KiWiKaKi to try and expand over here at his natural so he doesn't fall too far behind Dimaga in the macro game. One Zealot does give his life, basically needlessly, in exchange for a Zergling, but Dimaga's natural expansion is fully completed, his lair is fully completed, the Roach Warren is coming up after the lair has already completed. That is a bit puzzling. I guess, is he going to go for Tunneling Claws or Roach Speed very quickly? I don't know. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Build something, spend some money. There it goes. Tunneling Claws first. No, Roach Speed. Those icons still confuse me. Why did they ever switch them? It makes no sense. But, so Roach Speed coming in very quickly. The creep is starting to be spread, but only via Overlord at this point. So would like to see a Queen already spreading some creep across this very short map. Would be a very nice thing to do if he could use his first. If he doesn't need to do that larva injection, well, he did it anyway. So yeah, gonna be seeing more and more roaches coming out. Those 2 supply roaches. Another gas going up finally for Dimaga. No gas here at the natural. KiWiKaKi is finally building that nexus here and pushing out with this first couple of stalkers and zealots, killing off the Ursadak calf. He gave his life for nothing, I guess, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But all these roaches coming out now, just hanging out, waiting for KiWiKaKi to attack, I guess, or, you know, just building up an army of his own. He is supply blocked currently, so he's building 3 overlords at one time. Range weapons being upgraded first out of this evolution chamber, so I would expect Hydralisk Den to be the next. Hydralisk Den to be the next tech structure. Oh, here we have a little fight. Some lings look like they got a little bit bold, and KiWiKaKi dropped a couple of force fields. Actually, if KiWiKaKi's intent was to... Actually, if Dimaga's intent was to draw some force fields out of KiWiKaKi, he did a good job doing that. But other than that, kind of a waste of units. All these roaches did finish off the destructible rocks here, leading up to Dimaga's third. Oh, that creep tumor. Oh, it's spotted and killed very quickly, unfortunately for Dimaga. That's going to set him back a little bit. But these roaches and lings trying to get us around on these stalkers. I like the play with the vision here, with those hedges, but all these roaches probably will be able to stand up against this with those reinforcements that just came in. So he's going to chase and kill a couple of zealots. He might even get a kill off on one of these sentries if he continues to pursue. There's not a whole lot here in the way. These stalkers actually are going to do quite well against the roaches, though, and those force fields are going to mean that Dimaga is forced to retreat. He does lose a roach there, gets splattered underneath that force field. No cannons being built yet, so what has that Forge been doing? He got +1 weapon upgrades without me noticing, and what has Dimaga got? He's got his +1 range upgrading. It's not quite done yet. He's getting Tunneling Claws and Roach Burrow. Actually, Burrow for everything, but you know, Burrow will help these roaches regen very quickly. Did he get a Hydralisk Den? No, he still hasn't. Instead, he's just upgrading the heck out of the roaches that he's already got. Tunneling Claws are finished, and Burrow is probably near finished. Where is Burrow being researched? There it is. No, it's not near finished yet. Okay, so he's going to have to wait around before that he can start regenning these roaches very quickly. He's got a Ling scouting here behind the shrubbery. He's got an Overlord parked in a good spot behind these destructible rocks. Lots of stalkers coming out to combat this roach army from Dimaga. An Observer coming out now, so Tunneling Claw is going to be even less effective. There's the Hydralisk Den that I love to see. Coming up now, finishing up. If I were him, I would get this... range upgrade very quickly. However, he is going to need that dough to actually make some Hydralisks. There goes the range upgrade very quickly, so good job, Dimaga. But Burrow, still not finished, almost done. Got to be almost done at this point. There it finishes up. So does he burrow them immediately to get them regened? No, he doesn't. He does have 4 injured roaches still, though, so he might want to get on that. But he does expand over here to the third. And KiWiKaKi is going to fall behind in number of bases shortly, but he is pressing out now for an attack. He's at 1-0 on his weapons. Dimaga is also at 1-0, but you can't tell that until they unburrow. There they go. Hydras, 5 Hydras being built, Zerg missile attacks level 2, and Groove Spines coming in. More Hydras being built all the time. I like this composition. Speedlings to sneak around the back if they can and draw out some force fields while the rest of these range units just shoot away at these gateway units. And Hydras actually do quite well. None of these units do any bonus damage to Hydralisks, and Hydralisks just do a lot of DPS at range. So here we have an encounter. These roaches are going to burrow and go ahead and move back. However, this observer is in place to be able to see them trying to retreat. All these Hydras just hanging out. Some roaches some drones being transferred over to that third. KiWiKaKi still has broken down the destructible rock, but he has not thrown up another Nexus just yet. Dimaga is actually, I want to say he's ahead on food. Yes, he is, by about 20. Stalker Blink is being researched, and that will certainly help KiWiKaKi. He was a micro genius to be able to survive whatever attacks Dimaga throws at him. Some more force fields being elicited to block the forward movement of all these roaches and Hydralisks. If he gets a good position here, he can actually get like a roach up this cliff and keep the Hydras down on the low ground, but instead looks like he is going to retreat for the time being. This queen is kind of out in no man's land, not sure what that's about. Dimaga building more roaches all the time. I think I would be building more Hydralisks, but I am not, third place at IEM Global Challenge like Dimaga is, so I will let him make the decisions. But nothing really happening there. I thought maybe Dimaga was going to press the issue, but he did not. More Hydras and Roaches coming out all the time. Overlords, of course, very important with these 2 supply Roaches and 2 supply Hydras coming out all the time. KiWiKaKi, on the other hand, he's down in supply by about 25 now, so he could be in trouble here. Let's check out the unit tab. KiWiKaKi has 8 more workers and 25 less food. That is not a good position army-wise. However, force fields, of course, can make a huge difference. All these stalkers doing extra damage against these roaches can make a huge difference. The army of Dimaga is 2-0, but the army of KiWiKaKi is 1-1, so we'll have to see how big of a difference that makes. 13 Hydralisks being made now. I like that decision. Mass Hydras all day long. That's all you need as a silver level Zerg player. Just mass Hydras all day long. You'll win a lot. But it's because Hydras in mass are extremely strong. But Roaches are going to be doing the tanking, Hydras are going to be doing the long-range damage dealing, so we'll see if Dimaga can get his positioning just right to do an assault here. 5 more Hydralisks, 6 more Roaches coming out. Warp Prism being made for KiWiKaKi. I'm not sure what he's going to be trying to do with that. Dimaga's right on his doorstep. KiWiKaKi does have that observer there still. A bunch of workers being transferred now, plus 2 weapons coming in. Oh, finally. Okay, so Dimaga's pulling the Hydras out in front. He is going to lose a couple of them to the force fields. The Roaches are tunneling underneath and going to pop up in the front. I like that. That is a good way to position them. However, he is forced to retreat because there is a huge wall of stalkers here, and they're going to mow through these Roaches. Look at the food difference now. It's only 30. But actually that's a little surprising. All these Roaches are going down. They regen very quickly while burrowed. All this blink micro going on, you can see just units constantly blinking to the back here. He's just grabbing 2 or 3 at a time and blinking them back as they get into lower health. Hydras are mowing through these stalkers actually. There's still quite a lot of Hydras left. The stalkers are still in a huge number, but so many of them are in the red. I don't know who's going to win this fight. It's so close. 4 stalkers blink down to the low ground. It looks like the stalkers are going to be the victor of this particular battle. He just crushes all the Roaches and Hydras there. That is actually really mind-boggling how well Blink managed to hold up in that fight. He had a huge number of stalkers, but look how many of them are in the red and orange. Dimaga, of course, with the superior macro right now, coming off of 3 larva-injected bases, is able to replenish his army much quicker. He's at 126 food against 98, and these upgrades, of course, make a huge difference. He is 2-0 against 2-1 stalkers, but these are a higher tier unit, and the Hydras are just going to continue killing whatever they can. There's only 1 cannon here. Basically, this stalker gets caught out on his own and is killed immediately. Overlord's crapping creep here. I like that difference. The difference that made was probably bigger than it looked, creating more mobility for those Roaches and Hydras to be able to get through those stalkers quickly. Oh man, so lots of factors at work here. Dimaga doing a good job replenishing his army very quickly. He's at 124. KiWiKaKi down to only 55 now. That's more than double for those math whizzes at home. And yeah, it looks like Dimaga is just going to be able to keep this vice going on KiWiKaKi. and kill off these stalkers one by one. KiWiKaKi does not have the resources to keep replenishing at that rate, so Dimaga is going to take Game 6, and now we'll move into Game 7. The series is tied 3-3, so the next game is for all the marbles. Come watch.